What is one thing you regret doing in life? Wasting time worrying about people that never spared me a single thought. Somebody the other night confronted me about this when I started talking about my ex after a few drinks. Do you think she still puts this much thought into your well-being? No, I don't think she thinks of me at all. Being forced to say it out loud is oddly helpful. How I wish I could go back in time and give myself that advice. I chose the wrong people and lost everyone else on the way. You probably would just make your past self freak out with the revelation that you time traveled. Not ending bad/unhealthy/unfulfilling relationships sooner. I should have listened to my gut, but so many friends/family meant well but gave me just god-awful advice. Don't listen to people, folks. Listen to your gut. Amen. Not only didn't I end a toxic relationship earlier, I moved to Louisiana for that asshole. I guess it's one or two of those errors that have to be made. Oof, I hear that. I didn't change states, but I did buy a house for my ex and her kiddo. Major financial mistake. I hope you at least got lots of delicious consolation Cajun food out of your mistake. I regret making friends with people who I knew were bad for me just because it was easier than becoming friends with good people. Now I don't have many solid friends. Yeah, it was easier being friends with people who used and abused me than being friends with people who were genuine for some reason. Must have been the influence of the narcissist, the typical I need you to need me so that I can function. Silly me in her early 20s. I now have one friend, it's my husband. Best person to ever have existed. Genuine, ultimate best friend. Also good dick. Tell him I said nice dick, homie. Somewhat similar for me, staying together with my crazy GF during high school because I didn't want to be without a GF, despite her driving all my friends away. I went from a big social circle to almost nothing in the span of 3 years. I'm in my 30s now and never recovered. I have a hard time making new friends and don't really have any close friends other than myself. Going to college before I had the slightest idea what I wanted to do with my life. Related, student loan debt. Love my career, but I will never unbury myself. Most underrated comment right here. It's a societal problem. I went to uni at 30, can recommend. Life and work experience was a full advantage, and my motivations were very different to those straight out of school. Not putting myself out there enough. I probably missed out on a lot of opportunities because I'm so self-conscious. Working on this though. I feel this one. I have never really been confident in myself and am now working on that. Not letting people step all over me was the first step for me. Good luck on your journey towards confidence. I'm super confident now, to the point my old self is completely unrecognizable, but unfortunately I feel like I'm late to the party. However, I will say better late than never, and I don't regret for a minute putting the effort in. I only wish I did it earlier. Keep at it, and good luck on this journey. You're not alone. I am in my 30s and it was 5 years ago I realized my friends are moving on with their lives, my body is changing, and I'm going to die one day, and the people who I listened to too much will die, and I will have to live with the decisions I made. I got a skill and got confident, but overall something flipped in my brain when I got good at something and had a way to make a living. Still a slog some days with my brain and unlearning 20 plus years of negative thinking / being too chill with things. It does feel late, but you know what it is for some things, but I try to pass it on to the younger people so they don't waste their time. Plus there's still a bit of living left to do. Rambling a bit. Good luck to you and anyone else who reads this. Don't stop trying. Not following my dreams and ended up sitting behind a desk for 30 years. Of course, I'm currently on Reddit sitting behind my desk. So, there's that. What was your dream? If I could give you some silver linings, sitting behind a desk, in a presumably climate-controlled environment, is a whole lot better on your body than the poor folks who have to do manual labor in outdoor hot/cold conditions. At least that's what I tell myself to make myself feel better. I work at the airport in Denver. I'm out there in minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit snow and ice, rain, 100 plus degree Fahrenheit sun. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love working outside regardless of the conditions. Overthinking my way out of potentially rewarding choices. I've done this so many times for jobs that have been offered to me on a silver platter with higher pay and better position than my current role. I am afraid of change. I also worry that I won't do the job well and will be caught out. Sometimes I think I'm an idiot, other times I think why do the extra work for higher pay just because society tells you to. It's called the imposter syndrome. Try looking at the people who hold the positions above you and ask yourself if they're really that much smarter or better than you. If the answer is not really, go for it. This is so me. Yeah, but you could be me, underthinking my way into terrible choices. Letting myself gain back weight. This hurts so bad. I had been overweight my entire life up until I was 23 in 2013. Then I finally started dieting and exercising and lost 50 pounds. Swore I'd never get that big again and managed to keep the weight off until the end of 2020 when I got a new job and started working from home. Slowly started gaining it all back and then some and didn't do anything about it. I'm just now slowly starting to lose it, but it's so hard. I wish I had nipped it at the bud when I started to gaining again. Dude, that sounds almost like my case. I got in really good shape in 2013 when I was 23 after being overweight most of my life. But then I went through a really bad heartbreak and gained it all back, which hurts seeing all that work go to waste. But I've been hitting the gym recently as well. We can get back to our age 23 weights, I believe in us. Slightly better than front weight, I guess. Smoking. Smoking marijuana at a young age, 15, only stopping now, 29, and I feel like I fucked with my brain. I have a complicated job and have such horrible brain fog even when I wasn't smoking. It's been 3 days since my last joint, wish me luck. It gets so much better. Started daily at 15 sporadically, turned to daily at 18 am 30 now. I quit 45 days ago, and I legitimately feel like Superman compared to 45 days ago. I remember things my wife asks me to do without constant reminders. I get my task list done, and my boss even told me he's noticed that I'm much sharper at work. I've also quit drinking to avoid a drunken slip up. Holler if you want to talk at all. I smell you. So, this is gonna sound kinda dumb, but I kinda wish I had acted out a bit more, taken more risks, gotten in trouble more, explored and pushed my boundaries. I was pretty sheltered growing up and really wanted to be this good person. It created a lot of conflicting feelings for me. It also contributed to me avoiding doing some stuff cause I thought it'd be bad for me. Now that I'm older and worked through some of those issues, I feel like I missed out on a lot of stuff other people got in their teens and 20s. I'm now at a point where I'm exploring that, but most people my age have already gone through it. I just feel like I'm trying to catch up with everybody. If it's any consolation, there's plenty of us that feel the opposite. I started my rebellion when I was about 12, and by the time my 20s came around, I was so checked out. And I've spent my 20s feeling like I'm so boring because I just partied myself out. I wrecked myself mentally and physically. Since I was so young, my body felt like it had a greater capacity for things. I could do whatever I wanted to and bounce back so fast. But, being so young, also meant I had no sense of control and it got out of hand. Now I'm 27 and my body is more like that of a 40-year-old's at the youngest. I struggle so hard in college because I didn't pay attention in school and I gave myself permanent brain damage with all the garbage I put into my body. And I've had to tiptoe through life because I'm at that age where people expect you to do stuff like casually drink or something and I cannot. I cannot have a single sip or everything I've worked for is out the window. I'm getting married in a year and trying to tell people that there will be absolutely no alcohol and not a lot of partying has been so frustrating. All the why I get makes me want to send out separate invite detail things in the mail that just say no alcohol. I'm an alcoholic, that's why. Not to mention, I killed my mom. Not like physically, but she had her first heart attack when I was 13 and then she spent the next 5 years fighting me. I kept her stress level so high she was constantly in and out of the hospital. By the time I calmed down, she'd already had another heart attack, a stroke, a defibrillator put in, aged a million years, was on oxygen, could never keep her blood sugar or blood pressure down, had CHF, and was honestly too tired and unwell to really take care of my little sister, so she wound up more like you, sheltered. No one knows where she is because she dropped out of school at 18 and ran away in her attempt to be rebellious. Luckily, Mom was in a nursing home and lost her mind before she had to know that her youngest daughter was essentially missing and died soon after she left. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Don't let anyone tell you what to do or not do at your wedding, or the next time this question comes up, you'll say, I didn't have the wedding I wanted. Stay strong. If you don't want any alcohol there, so be it. Your friends and family that want to drink can go out after. This is a good one. I think there are a lot of people like this. It's hard to call this a regret because I feel like I was just doing my best, but I feel like not listening to my mom would have been beneficial to me. While being obedient, a wheel has fallen off of the vehicle of my life every few years and now they're all gone. Being too nice to tell undeserving people to fuck off when I should have been putting myself first. Lessons learned. My boundaries need to be stronger than my empathy, is how I phrase this as an affirmation. I need to get better about telling PPL to fuck off, father. I hate being a people pleaser so much. Deleted. I have many. What age range are we talking here? Under 18/teen years, wasting money, not reading more, and not trying in school. 20s, wasting money, how I treated a lot of people in my life at the time, and gaining a significant amount of weight, I've since lost but still. 30s, mostly I could have been a better partner to my now wife. Here's hoping my 40s are much better. Less commas each decade so you're on the right track. That's such a good response. Mentally exhausting myself at work for companies that turned out to not give a shit about me or value my work. Bingo jackpot winner. Holy shit, will never do more than the bare fucking minimum for these companies until I get into my actual career. They don't give a rat's ass about you, and think because they will pay you, you have to tolerate disrespect, discrimination, favoritism and other work political BS. Now at these jobs I make it very clear. 1. We are not friends or family. I come here to work, don't ask me shit about my personal life. Because you don't really care and just want to be nosy or use it as some type of fuel for later bullshit. 2. I will not be disrespected by anyone at work, superior or not. You will treat me with respect as I do you. Just cause you pay me doesn't mean you can call me out my name, belittle me or any or the above. I will walk right out that front door. 3. Bitch, no, I can't stay later or longer to help close the store. That's your job. You are upper management, that falls on you, not me. I will not overwork myself for pennies. So don't fucking call me. I make it clear this is my schedule, this is all I'm willing to work. Do not call me, I will not answer. If that doesn't work for you, completely understand this is not the company for me. On my days off I find ways to make more money. Lawn mowing, Ubering, learning online side hustles. Learn to make money outside of your job, because if or when they let you go you are not completely assed out. 4. Also get very clear on your specific job title from the jump. I will not be doing other people's work that you should have hired more people for. What is my specific day to day and what am I expected to do? That's it, I'm not doing extra shit. You don't pay me enough to give a fuck or work that hard. 5. Get very clear on what benefits you have from that company from day fucking one. Oh yeah, MF, I'm going to milk you for everything. Every fucking thing. PTO, discounts, or memberships, sick days, tuition assistance. I need it all. So get very clear on a company's benefits from day one. 6. Do not bend on your schedule. If you have a 3-day-a-week schedule and you told them that's all you can work, do not bend when they are in trouble and try to call you. Unless you genuinely need money at the time, but understand just cause they call you doesn't mean you have to come in. Again, this isn't your store, this isn't your building, this isn't your business, this isn't your dream. You are a fucking number. And the second, and I mean second, you are gone, they will and do and can replace you. So no, I can't come in. Guys, there is so many ways to make money out here. And it's hard to see that when you are working 40+ hours for a company because you are already so tired from working. Look at side hustles. At least try to make money online. Try different avenues, you will see what's really out here. Not all companies are shit. I'm sure there are good ones once you get acquirable skills, but be wary of this little $15 to $18 jobs. They can fuck your mental health if you let them. Never again. That's my rant. Y'all stay safe. 5. Also lastly, save. Guys, save for a freaking rainy day. Seriously, because the sun can't shine every day. Please, this is my biggest tip that I can give you. Save for your own sake, don't spend everything on your check every week. Set aside something Therese, no excuse, because trust me, you will need it one day, and when that day comes you would wish you had something saved. If you are over the age of 18, no one is coming to save you. You are an adult now. It gets kind of a shocker, cause it feels like you were just in fucking middle school, but yeah, please set aside something. If you have a trustworthy parent or someone you can trust, give them the money so you won't even tempt it. Or if you can trust yourself, save yourself, just make sure it gets done. Same. One company I worked for was good at complimenting. Always saying great work. You will be getting a bonus. Wages going up next year. Always pushing for us to work faster and harder. A lot of unpaid overtime. They always said that they know it's hard now as they are so busy, but it is only temporary. They are going to hire more people soon. 4 years later. No bonuses, no wage increase, even more overtime unpaid, no new people to help was hired. Yet they kept saying the same shit. I realized that the compliments was manipulation and the promises were lies. Owner had 12 properties. I now know how he could afford to accumulate such a property portfolio. Despite being such a small company, they were going to work me to death. I'm old. Me too. That dangling carrot crap you went through is so pervasive. I can't remember a single time that the carrot landed in my mouth. Worrying about chasing girls more than my college studies. If it makes you feel better, I know highly educated people who regret only studying and not getting girls. I'm one of those people, unfortunately. Oof, yeah, sadly too many people forget college is for setting up a career till it's too late. Smoking. 20 years spent on expensive, self-fed poison. Biggest regret of my life, by far. I'm glad you quit. Every now and then I'm in a store and some smoker walks past me. The stench coming off of them hits me like a Mack truck and I want to retch. Imagine going into a store and other customers have to physically move away from your general vicinity. These people have no clue how much they reek. I have never met anyone who said they're glad they started smoking. I am. But I was using it to self-medicate BPD and I'd 100% be dead otherwise, so I'm not a normal case. Buying Bitcoin when it was at its peak. Forming some connections. I feel you. Spent years going, crypto? Don't get it. Can't invest in it if I don't understand it. Then it takes off, and I think, shit, whether I get it or not, it must be a thing. Better to get a piece than nothing. And boom, bottom fell out. I still don't get crypto, but I don't know if I don't get it because I'm an idiot, or because it's a scam. And I spent a couple $100. Lucky me, that's all I had to invest. To learn a harsh lesson that I still don't understand. The whole premise that you have to understand crypto is bullshit in the first place. You don't have to understand the inner workings of a car or the internet to know why it changed the world, because what they do speaks for itself. If crypto was even half as revolutionary as they'd want you to believe, then simply seeing what it can do would be enough to convince people to get in. Crypto enthusiasts have been saying for a literal decade that we're just early and that people don't get it yet, but then you see actual revolutionary technology such as ChatGPT, which is arguably much more complex than anything crypto, and it takes the world by storm. It would take a long dive into the technicals to explain why crypto doesn't have much to offer that would be of interest to the average consumer. Having a technology built on immutability and irreversibility makes for a terrible consumer-oriented product. The average person isn't tech savvy or money savvy enough to manage their crypto funds half as well as any bank could, or that too much security often ends up being a negative because at some point, people will start taking shortcuts such as writing passwords down, which ends up making the system less secure. And at the end of the day, it is also currency that is pretty much never used as such, which makes it hard to see as anything other than a speculative asset. I bought stocks at the peak and lost more money than I can imagine, lol. Oh well, life goes on, I guess. Going to a party with a homemade sound system at age 17 and getting tinnitus. We're your protection people. I never put a name to it until I met my husband, who has it. I always have this screaming in my ears, as I call it, not as soothing as the term ringing. I guess I've learned to ignore it, for the most part. It reminds me it's there when I'm in a quiet setting, like the bathroom. I realized I sleep with background noise because of it. I always have a fan, TV or something going. If not, the screaming is so bad. And oh boy, went to a concert the other night without protection. The next 48 hours were almost torture. No background noise could hide it. I was on the brink of nausea from it. Ugh. Where protection? You got it from one event? I didn't know that could happen. You can get it from being exposed to overly loud yet common sounds in 15 minutes. Jackhammers, wind rush, riding a motorcycle, skydiving, storm winds, all without earplugs, standing next to a busy highway, standing close to speakers at a concert, holding a crying baby to your ears. Why would you even do this? Listening to too loud headphones, etc. That's not to say it will happen in a short time if you do any of those things, but it can. By far most people grossly underestimate how easy it is to damage your ears. Now when you get tinnitus, that is an easy discovery because the noise stays with you constantly and you're in for a very bad time. But exposing your ears to too loud noise for too long more often results in less perceptible hearing damage. You simply lose or reduce the ability to hear a very specific frequency. Add up enough of those events and you end up deaf in whole frequency ranges, which you don't really notice until you start finding you can't understand what people are saying when they talk softly or when you're in a somewhat noisy environment. This is already scarily common with people in their 20s these days. Protect your ears. This is no joke. Not paying enough attention at school. I went through college with the goal to get good grades and nab a degree. I did, but I studied in a manner where I forgot everything once each course was over. Imagine my surprise when my first programming job actually required knowledge of programming principles more complex than just the fundamentals. It's been nearly a decade since, and I'm on my third job now, and I only now feel like I've started to get into the rhythm of things. Pay attention in school, kids. I'm a high school teacher and every year I get kids come back to visit me during school hours to catch up and this is a common theme. Not spending more time with my mom. I visited her 2 to 3 times a week but still, there were other times she'd call and I'd ignore the call or tell her I didn't have time to talk. Would give anything to go back and take every one of those calls. Same with me and my grandma who was like a mom to me. My first thing that comes to mind when I think of regret. Lost my mother October 2022, 3 days after my B-Day. I feel this in the deepest, most broken part of my soul. Peace and love to you. Keeping toxic people around me just because they're family. Disabled here, reliant on toxic family. 7 years ago I decided to go no contact with a few close ones. Was hard but never again am I going to be emotionally, mentally and psychologically abused. Not getting help for my mental health sooner. Had my first therapy session last Friday. Have another one this coming Monday. I've been putting it off for years, hopefully it goes well. Yeah, for me it was mental and physical health. Sometimes I wonder if I could have prevented myself from developing a terminal illness in my early 20s or if it was a fate type of deal. Either way, don't neglect your health my dudes. No regrets. Not even a single letter. No regrets. Not leaving one of my exes for someone who would have been much better for me. Just that first part. Leaving a bad relationship sooner. Hanging on to a relationship for too long. I should have up and disappeared the first time he was disrespectful. Same. So much time spent erasing reality with fictionalized potential. Same here. So much time wasted. Most of 2019 addiction bottom. Sober now for 432 days and counting. Rooting for you even I don't know you, you got this.